There are always pilgrims here. Something very important. Do you know grandparents? Do you know anybody who's a grandparent? I'm putting in a link. I'm not sure if the links show up as links in the post, but in the words that I will attach to the post, you will find the link even if it doesn't show up as a link. Just search down, it says Grandparents' Day. That's tomorrow. And there's a very beautiful message inspired by the Psalms. In old age, they will still bear fruit. And so this is, tomorrow is the second World Day for grandparents. And there's a reason for that, but that we'll explain tomorrow. And I want you to alert you to the text so that you can share it with any grandparents you know. It's really beautiful, inspirational, a message that's very relevant to our times. So alert people, and we'll celebrate grandparents tomorrow, God willing. And so the more families that know about it, the better. They can be prepared to have some little surprise for their grandparents tomorrow. They can do something that will be a special day, special memory, beautiful way to help children appreciate the gifts of being family, generation to generation. That's a wonderful biblical concept, from generation to generation. We didn't invent ourselves, and we have so much to thank our parents for. And then our parents didn't come from a cobweb, and they didn't come from a stork, and they didn't come from an email or a text message. Our parents came because they had parents who were very, very, very helpful. So let us really work tomorrow so that we will have a lot of celebration for many grandparents. And if you're a grandparent, then alert the other grandparents or alert their children. You know that tomorrow's Grandpa's Day, Grandma's Day, Grandparents' Day. And then they can have surprises prepared. They can do a little drawing, a little sketch, write a little poem, paint a little picture, whatever it is. Oh, look at all these birds again. A little bit strange because it's not migration time, but they're probably having party time. Maybe they're having Grandparents' Day for the birds. We had one of those last week as well. I think about a week ago there was a whole slew of birds. Or maybe they're having their Shabbat fire, their Shabbat celebration. You know, the word fire that I used there was actually a German word which means celebration. Feiern is to celebrate in Germany. And that's our Roman tower peeping over there, 2nd century Roman tower, right there in the center of the screen. Imagine all the generations since then, from grandparents to children to grandchildren. The word responsibility and ducking responsibility and escaping responsibility. Responsibility is kind of maybe we could say a mean word. You know, responsibility, it's like close to accountability. It's a word that talks about response. It talks about recognizing another or a gift or a task, responsibility. Hey, we got lots of capers coming here, and these were all gone, remember, 2 months ago, and now the plant is back because there were roots in the ground. And the grandparents are like roots. That's a thought Pope Francis uses a lot. And a tree without roots can't grow. tree without roots can't grow, a plant without roots can't grow. And the connection with roots, oh boy, we better be quiet here. Somebody might be asleep. I wonder if our little family of Nutria are still here. Oh yes, look at them just speaking of the devil. Isn't that amazing? They were closer than I thought. Now we get a better look at this guy. Wow. Look at his long tail there. He's coming this way for you guys. Maybe his friends will come back, his siblings will come back. This is a healthy Nutria family because I just saw somebody sent me a link for them that, you know, the typical family can have 4 or 5, and I think there's 5 in this batch. And they go very independent quickly from the parents. So they're self-sustaining. Self-sustaining is a limited word because they need a lot of salad. So they live a lot in the water, but oh, there's 2 more over there. Look at this. Watch this, people. Watch this. Watch this. 2 more over here. Where are you guys? I'm zoomed in very much. That's why we don't see them quickly. There we go. So there's a good chance we'll get 3 of them together if we wait here. Do you want to wait here, or should we move along? I think we should wait here because it's not often we get this chance. They have no idea that they're on. Oh, that light, did you notice? He noticed that I'm here. Maybe they'll come over closer and we can get a closer look. That's good salad there. Gosh, they're hungry, aren't they? We just got them at breakfast time. So we were talking about responsibility, and responsibility is that there's somebody else in the picture. We're not alone. That somebody is going to ask me a question or going to expect something from me. And therefore, I need to give an answer. But it's not an answer just about knowledge. Responsibility is about work. It's about accomplishment. It's about having done things. And then we like to be covered from responsibility. We like to have some shield that protects us from that. There's one over there now, and he's really aware of my presence. He knows I'm talking, because when I started talking again, he picked up his head, or her head. I wonder if I'm like a tree for them. Most trees don't talk. So we don't want to miss our sunrise. So we like to have cover for our responsibility because we don't like to have to answer for things that we should have done that we didn't do. And then if we can have cover for it, then we feel shielded, we can get away with it. And Jeremiah is calling out, don't think because the temple is here that you can live selfish ways and that your society won't collapse. Don't count on God's temple in that sense. God's presence among us doesn't eliminate the responsibility I have. And sometimes there's that caricature of understanding lived by believers that becomes then a social caricature of believers, that there are people who cop out, people who don't take responsibility, which is a very unfair caricature because there are so many people of deep commitment and really of total self-giving inspired by religious motives. But that wouldn't impede even a whole society from becoming a society that takes advantage and doesn't do the part that's corresponding. And one thing is omission of good things we should do, and then another thing is commission of bad things we should avoid. And a culture that fosters that fosters omission of the good and commission of the bad, and that allows it and condones it, is very, very damaging for humanity, for the individuals themselves, and for the society as a whole, because we all have a role to fulfill. Even each of these little nutria has a role to fulfill. And especially when they'll have a little family, when they grow up further, they have a role to fulfill for their own family. And we all have a role in the human family. And we'd love to get away with doing less and let other people serve us. And if we look at us as Christians, our definition is really to become servants. And servants are people who do things, and they do them because they're told to do them. But they can also do it from service from the heart. And I choose to be a servant. I choose to be one who serves. Right now, I'm only about 5 steps away from them. So we could zoom in again and see. Oh, can I zoom in more? Oops, that's me. In case you didn't realize. Oh yeah, we were zoomed pretty well. So if you never saw Nutria before, here's your chance. I'm going to try to edge slowly closer. There's another one over here. But the one we had was the best one in terms of being able to observe them. The voracious appetite. There are 3 here right now. There's one behind the stone. I must keep an eye on the time because we could stay here for a while. It must be almost time. There we got 2 of them together now. I'm only about less than 4 yards away from them. And I'm inching slowly closer. And they're inching closer to me. Look at the legs. Do you notice the legs? Quite a bit of a tail to bring around with you, isn't it? I have two over here. Just let me get the camera on them properly. I'm lost. Where do I have them? Oh, there we are. Now they're in the stretching mode. Once they finish eating, they get to stretching because they look like good lawnmowers. So don't trust in external religious cover to cover for our responsibilities. And then the gospel also is very clear about a day of reckoning, a day of responsibility, of ultimate responsibility in our lives. And that's a great thing to be aware of, because that brings us to be conscious of our duties, of our place in the universe, our place in humanity, in history, our place in our family, in our society. People, I'm going to say goodbye without a selfie now, maybe, because I want to get this on Instagram if I can as well, to be fair to the Instagrammers. God bless you. See you later, alligator.